Good day. Welcome to News Now on TV360. I'm Thelma Okoro. A federal high court in Abuja has granted bail to Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. The judge Binta Nyako granted Kanu a 100 million naira bail on health grounds and asked him to produce 3 sureties. She also barred him from granting TV interviews, threatening to revoke the bail if Kanu does not comply with her orders. Kanu is being charged for treason and managing the affairs of an unlawful society. He will remain in Kuje prison until all his bail conditions are met. Meanwhile, the other 3 accused persons were not granted bail by the judge.
I salute your spirit, Nnamdi Kanu. Keep hope alive. One day, the story, the history will be on your side. I have come to identify with the Igbo nation, the people that are under great torture and embarrassment and harassment. We have seen today. Tomorrow will get better. Kanu will one day walk into freedom, unconditional freedom in our country. His belief will not be killed. His courage and spirit will not be dampened.
Sir, the court has given the conditions for his bail this morning, which we are going to perfect. And we are going to resist every attempt by the federal government to flout this order made by the court this morning. Even to entail mobilizing people to the street, I will do that. And any attempt to flout this order will bring an end to this trial, because he will not subject himself to further trial unless when that order is complied. We will not accept it to end any longer.
And I believe that what I see today is a step in the right direction. Our nation needs healing. Our nation needs new interpretation. Our nation needs a new beginning. And I believe that the direction the court took today is a direction that will lead us to starting the process of this healing.
The trial of Senate President Bukola Saraki at the Code of Conduct Tribunal has been adjourned till April 27, 2017. The trial was expected to resume on April 25th, but the tribunal released a statement saying the trial has now been adjourned owing to a request from the prosecution counsel. Saraki is facing charges for false declaration of assets while he was governor of Kwara State. The Bangladesh government has pledged to help Nigeria in its fight against terrorism. The country's chief of army staff confirmed this during a visit to the Nigerian army in Abuja. He was received by top officials of the Nigerian army. Nigeria has been battling insurgency for over 7 years now. It has, however, succeeded in curbing attacks carried out by terrorist sect Boko Haram. At least 7 people have been confirmed dead in 2 separate suicide bombings in Maiduguri, Borno State, northeast Nigeria. The incident happened a day after 3 suicide bombers were killed by civilian Joint Task Force members in the state. In the first attack, 3 suicide bombers were killed, while the second attack, the suicide bomber detonated her explosives, killing 3 other persons. Both scenes have since been rendered safe by Nigerian authorities. A Cameroonian military tribunal has sentenced a journalist to 10 years in prison on terrorism charges, including for failing to report acts of terrorism to authorities. Ahmed Abba, a Cameroonian journalist for Radio France International, could have faced the death penalty on the charges. The court had been told that evidence was found in his computer showing he had been in contact with Boko Haram militants and that they had communicated information to him about future attacks in the country. Since his arrest in July 2015, Abba has denied the charges leveled against him. Instead, his sentence has also drawn sharp criticism from rights groups across the country. An autopsy result has revealed that late Senator Isiaka Adeleke may have died of an overdose of painkillers. The Osun West Senator died on Sunday in Osogbo at the age of 62. Medical examination of the tissues taken from the senator's body indicated he was injected with an overdose of painkillers. At the time of his death, it was reported that he had died of cardiac arrest. Adeleke was a serving senator on the platform of the ruling All Progressives Congress. He was buried on Monday in Ede, Osun State, according to Islamic rites. The federal government says it will hold a national conference to discuss the recurring clashes between farmers and herdsmen across the country. Audu Ogbe, Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, disclosed this on Tuesday. Ogbe said the government would engage all stakeholders involved in cattle breeding as well as farmers to discuss and analyze the situation with a view of finding the solution to the crisis. Hundreds of people have been killed in different states across the country as a result of farmers and herdsmen clashes. Adeleke, the suspended Director General of the National Intelligence Agency, has again appeared before the panel of inquiry set up to investigate the money recovered by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission in Ikoyi, Lagos. Oke is being probed after claiming that the 13 billion naira recovered by the EFCC belongs to his agency. Subsequently, President Muhammadu Buhari suspended the intelligence chief pending an investigation. President Muhammadu Buhari has reiterated his commitment to rid the nation's waters of pirates and their criminal activities. And now the president made this known at a workshop organized by the Association of African Maritime Administrations. According to Vice President Yemi Bajo, who represented the president at the event, a new maritime framework has been approved by the government to curb pirate attacks on Nigerian waters. The Lagos State High Court in Igboshere has postponed judgment in the suit by residents of Otodo Ogbame community in the area. The repeated demolition of the rural waterfront settlement by Lagos government agents has been condemned by both local and international rights groups. On Tuesday, the judge said he was postponing the judgment because issues of jurisdiction raised by the respondents should be addressed. He adjourned the case to May 25, 2017 for final judgment in the case. Now, you may call it a major technological leap for Africa's biggest economy. The first made-in-Nigeria smartphone has been launched in the country's commercial city of Lagos. AfriOne mobile phones will now compete with other brands in the Nigerian market. AfriOne is the maker of the mobile phone, and it is hoping to leverage on the government's Buy Made in Nigeria campaign to win the hearts of many Nigerians.
When it comes to mobile phones, Nigeria is currently the largest market in Africa for GSM phone sales, even though it is estimated that just 35% of Nigeria's population has a mobile phone. While the GSM handset market in Nigeria is currently undergoing an unprecedented boom, the Nigerian market has been marked to become the biggest soon in the world. Seeing the enormous potentials that lies in the growing market for GSM handsets in Nigeria, an Indian-owned phone manufacturing company, AfriOne, has launched a state-of-the-art product and its 300,000 product per month production facility in Nigeria. This marks the availability of the first in-country produced smartphone for sale in the Nigerian marketplace. Headquartered in Lagos, AfriOne serves as a pioneer in the manufacturing and assembly of high-end communication technology in the African space.
This is just the beginning of a long journey. Today, yes, we are mainly assembling our phones using components that are imported, but there are a lot of research and development, number one, that goes on locally right now to produce the phone. The software that we're developing, again, has been customized for the local market. All our packaging is done locally. As we said, obviously the assembly is being done locally, but now we're also looking at some of the components and accessories to be produced over here locally.
In addition to the production of contemporary ICT devices and accessories, AfriOne aims to promote education and training programs and as well encourage entrepreneurship in Nigeria.
You see, you've got to understand that today when we have the youth coming in and working over here, today they're sitting there and they're assembling, they get ideas from this, their mind starts to work. From here, a bright student from Laspotec might say, you know what, I can make the microphone over here locally, and might endeavor to start doing that.
While the assembling just the first step in a long run that will involve eventually producing the components in Nigeria, the company currently works with local software manufacturers to produce customized softwares that are specifically designed to meet local needs.
We have agricultural focused applications and technology that we want to focus only for farmers, and that would help them with the understanding of how to actually increase their yield, as well as being able to
weather patterns, input
exactly being able to allocate them the inputs that they require to farm. So there are lots of things that we are working on right now. Health, education, farming, and fintech are the priorities that we've focused on at the moment.
This launch is coming months after the federal government launched the Made in Nigerian campaign to encourage its citizens to patronize local products. The company has assured Nigerians its product has been made affordable for all, but the government says it is committed in ensuring a sustainable environment for foreign investors to operate in the country. Flourish Alonge, TV360, Lagos.
What is wrong with you? Man saying no? Tell them I drew for more than 1 hour.
Ìyá mi, ọ̀rọ̀ yín náà ni mò ń ṣe. Ọ̀rọ̀ yín náà ni mò ń ṣe. Ká kúrò fún Ọlọ́run. Ká satisfy yín níbi ọ̀rọ̀ yín náà ni mò ń ṣe.
Ẹ wo jẹ́ ká lọ jàre ká kúrò nbí báyìí.
Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ má bínú. Hello ọ̀gá. Màá dọ́dọ̀ yín lẹ́sẹ̀ yín. I assure you 5 minutes. Màá dọ́dọ̀ yín. Ẹ gbà bẹ́ẹ̀.
You are deceiving another customer just like you deceived us.
The same way he deceived us.
Eh? Why?
Ètò ní iṣẹ́ yìí. Bó o bá kúrò ò lè jẹun, ò lè jẹun. Bó o bá kúrò ò lè jẹun ìyá mi. Bó o bá kúrò ò lè jẹun. Workshop mi leléyìí. Ibi tí èèyàn bá ti ń ṣe ló ti ń jẹ. Ìyẹn ló ń pè ní workshop. Ibi tó bá ti ń work ni kó má ti shop.
You cannot base your business on lies. Koda now, it is corruption and it cannot work. Not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
Welcome back. It's now time for business news with Fidelia.
Thank you, Thelma. The Association of Electricity Distribution Companies has appealed to the Nigerian government to provide the 100 billion naira subsidies promised to the sector in November 1st, 2013. Now, in a statement by Sonny Oduton, its executive director, the association urged the government to inject funds into the transmission section of the sector. He stated that the inadequate funding of the Transmission Company of Nigeria was responsible for the huge loss and rejection of electricity load. Looking at more stories now, the Naira was quoted at 18.3% weaker for portfolio investors on Tuesday compared with the interbank rate a day after the central bank said it would allow investors to trade the currency at market-determined rate. The Naira fell to 374.25 per dollar on the new forex trading window introduced by the CBN on Monday for investors. Now, the currency was also quoted at 305.95 to the dollar on the interbank market and 389 on the black market. The Central Bank of Nigeria has offered $150 million in currency forwards at an auction on Tuesday. Now, the auction is part of its efforts to narrow the spread between the official and black market exchange rates and improve foreign exchange liquidity. Traders citing a notice from the central bank says the settlement would be between 1 week and 45 days. The sales will be via a wholesale auction to meet the forex demand from businesses in the country. Oil prices recovered some ground on Tuesday, halting 6 consecutive sessions of slide. However, markets remained under pressure as traders lose confidence that pledged output cut by major oil producers will rein in oversupply. U.S. crude futures added 14 cents to trade at $49.37 a barrel, while crude lost 14 cents to close at $51.74 a barrel. Now, traders said the gains were a counter-reaction to consecutive price drops in the previous 6 sessions in the market. That's all on business. More stories coming up. Don't go away.
Corruption not in my country.
Mr. John! Mr. John! What is it now?
What is it now?
Please turn down the volume of your music. It's too loud.
And how is that your business?
It is disturbing me. I can't sleep.
And the same way you are disturbing my right to good music and where I enjoy it. Eh? What's wrong with you? Is there another person complaining?
Maybe we thought that you have lost your mind. Are you having a party?
I'm just respecting you, sir. You remember I paid my husband too.
You will not understand why we are complaining because you do not care about other people except yourself. Look, the transformation we need in this country begins in this compound.
Yes, now.
From you and I. This your selfishness is an offshoot of corruption. And corruption not in my country. Oh, you know, go to your bank. Go.
Corruption not in my country.
Glad to have you back. A military court in Somalia has executed 4 men, it says, were al-Shabaab militants. The men were reportedly behind a 2016 attack that killed 80 people. The 4 men were executed in Baidoa, northwest of Mogadishu. Al-Shabaab often carries out such attacks in the capital and elsewhere in its bid to topple Somalia's government and to drive out African Union peacekeeping troops. The Al-Qaeda-linked group wants to impose its harsh version of Islamic rule in Somalia. At least 24 people have been killed and several others injured in a head-on collision between a passenger bus and a tanker carrying cooking oil between Nairobi and the coastal city of Mombasa. The accident occurred in Kibwezi area shortly after midnight local time. The bus driver was trying to overtake another vehicle but collided with the oncoming tanker. 20 adults and 3 children died on the spot of the accident, while 1 adult died later in the hospital. The Nigerian Football Federation says it is fully focused on assisting Eagles coach General Rowe to lead the Eagles to the 2018 World Cup and 2019 African Cup of Nations tournament. For the 2019 African Cup of Nations qualifiers, the Eagles were placed in a potentially tough group alongside South Africa, Libya and Seychelles. The qualifiers will begin on June 5, 2017. While in the World Cup qualifiers, Nigeria's next game is at home to Cameroon in August 28, 2017. The NFF in a statement says it is working with the Nigerian coach to select the best players to represent the team in the matches. Real Madrid winger Gareth Bale will miss both legs of his club's Champions League semi-final tie against city rival Atletico Madrid after the club confirmed he suffered a thigh injury. He will miss at least 3 weeks after he suffered the injury in Sunday's El Clasico defeat to Barcelona. The first leg of the Champions League semi-finals will take place on May 2nd and 3rd, while the return leg will be played a week later on May 9th and 10th. Serena Williams says Ili Natase's recent comments about her unborn baby are racist and has given her full approval to a full-scale investigation. Natase, a former world #1, was heard speculating whether Williams' child would be chocolate with milk. The International Tennis Federation has launched an investigation into the comments and suspended the 70-year-old man. Williams revealed last week that she's expecting her first baby and will not play again this year. She's due to give birth to her first child in the autumn season. That's all we have on News Now. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Thelma Okoro.